Live from New York, it's the show that's wishing you a happy Juneteenth. It's First Things First today. What are the chances that the Celtics are at the doorstep of a dynasty? Meanwhile, is it happy trails for Dak after this year? And finally, an old teammate is saying that Aaron Rodgers is playoff bound.
I just did it because you guys all did it.
Well, I don't know. Alongside.
Brew did it and you did it. I
Christmas
felt
sorry. Well, no.
I don't think that was a sincere.
I don't know. Listen, here's what I will say.
Go ahead.
I might have my questions about how good of a teammate Aaron Rodgers is, but they are belied by the fact that many of his former teammates seem willing to lie down in traffic for him. So I will be.
He got guys paid.
He's got guys, man. He's got some people. I will give him credit for that. Yeah.
He can sling the football.
Yeah,
Well, he used to be able to.
How many games? 23 games.
Back in the day.
We're going to start with Tatum's legacy. With Larry O'Brien in hand, the Celtics are going to hand-deliver $315 million 5-year extension to Jason Tatum. Tatum was first-team All-NBA, but didn't shoot particularly well in the finals, which oddly didn't matter, question mark? Brew, does Tatum have anything more to prove?
First of all, he's getting the money and he deserves the money. We all agree on that, right? I mean, this is what it is. He should get that. Okay, so
I mean, I think that this
question he should get this.
I mean, it's going to be the biggest contract ever temporarily.
Right.
Like there are going to be
Jaylen
other.
Browns was the
Jaylen Browns was the biggest.
Right.
This is a player getting his third deal at his level of all NBAs.
26.
Right. This is what they get. So yes, I don't think there's any smart debate about whether or not you max out Jason.
You
Tatum.
got a championship. So
correct.
yeah. But yes, he does have something to prove, which is that he can play his best in the NBA Finals. That's what he's got to prove. Now, I don't equate that with he has to win a Finals MVP, but obviously if he plays his best, there's a good chance he would get that. I do think the general public will be waiting, assuming they win again, waiting for him to be the MVP. Like if they get back to the Finals next year, the year after, whenever, the storyline, or one of the storylines, like it was with Steph, will be, well, it might depend on who's in it. Like, is he facing Luka? If it's Luka, I think it'll be bigger. Can Luka finally get one or whatever? But that'll be a big storyline. Will he be the Finals MVP? So, yeah, he's got that to prove. I'm sure personally he also should be shooting for an MVP, not at the demise of the team, but, yeah, if you're a player that great, you would like to get an MVP
Is that on the board?
Yeah, it's on the board. Because next year, I think Jokic, it's going to be hard for Jokic to get his fourth in 5 years.
Okay.
All right, especially coming off a second-round exit. Giannis will be there.
Luka will be there.
Luka will be there. But Luka, I think, took a little bit of a hit. I don't think he starts with any type of head start. I think he took a little bit of a hit this postseason. A lot of people
hit this postseason?
This finals. A lot of people. I think he played well. But I think people were disappointed in him in the finals.
I think that.
And so I think he will start even with SGA, and I think Tatum will be there. Like if they have the best record in the league next year, and he is clearly their best player, first team All NBA, I think he's got a very good shot at getting the MVP.
That's what happened this year.
Yeah, but if it happens again, coming off a championship, I think he's got a good shot.
So listen. This is a question.
You don't think he has a shot at MVP?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I don't think those qualifiers necessarily will do him more favors than they did him this year. I think it's going to have to be something different. But I think it's, what is he trying to be? So like professionally, right? I'm going to use you as an example, Wilds, if I may. Does Kevin Wilds have anything more to prove? Well, what are you trying to prove? So here's what I mean. This is not a shot. I'm using you complimentarily.
I'm getting my defense.
No, don't get your defenses up. If your goal was to show the world I can be one of the best sports talk hosts, moderators, personalities, then no, you have nothing to prove.
Well,
I think you already have done that.
I disagree with that.
Okay, just play along with me for a moment,
but that's
please.
not even
You know what, though?
Gosh darn it.
Inside, Nick, I don't think
Can I just finish the
Inside,
point?
I think he agrees with
If your goal was, I one day am going to be on the same iconography as my idol, David Letterman, then you got a lot more to prove.
Yeah.
So here's my point with Tatum. What's Tatum's goal? Is Tatum, if Tatum's goal is be the best Celtic since Larry Bird, he's probably on pace.
He's got a shot.
I think he and Paul Pierce.
He didn't have a big three.
Right, and Paul Pierce never made first-team All-NBA. I feel like at his peak, Pierce was better than Tatum, but I think Tatum right now is trending towards
Pierce was
being
more clutch.
Right, but I think Tatum is trending towards being the best Celtic of the last 30 years, like best career of a Celtic of the last since Larry Bird. If that's the goal and that's where it ends, he's already a champion, then no. If the goal is be a perennial real MVP candidate, crack that top 3 player in the world conversation legitimately, then yes, he has a lot more to prove.
I think I know what his goal is.
What's that?
To be the best player in the league.
Okay, well then he has.
That's his goal.
Then he has.
I don't think he is, but I think that's his goal.
Then he has miles more to prove. That's kind of my point. Like right now, he is on the trajectory of I think Paul Pierce is a fair one. Like a consistently excellent
He's ahead
player.
Of Pierce, though.
Who? Okay, sure.
In that Pierce had a long run where they weren't very good. Pierce was great.
They made a conference finals early, but then they fell off.
But then remember after they got rid of Antoine Walker,
so
they had a stretch.
So then
of bad.
maybe a slightly different version because now he has a ring, Clyde Drexler trajectory, something like that. That tier of player. That is where he's at.
He's about that tier.
Right, Clyde Drexler. So if he wants to be in that next tier, which is this is like what you were saying about NFL teams. It's a lot easier to go from 3 wins to 7 wins than 10 wins to 13 wins. That next tier is a hard tier to get to because then we're like, oh, you're like in the Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett apex of Garnett tier. That's a hard tier to crack.
Yeah.
And so if that's where he's trying to get to, then yeah, he has a lot more.
What he's got, the way he gets there, because he's not right now on the level of Jokic, Luka, and Giannis. They're just incredibly unique, all 3 of them, and he's not as unique as them. But it's gonna have to be winning more championships and being great in the finals. Like if he wins another championship and is great in the finals, he might even have to win more than that. But those are the things he's got to do.
What do you go ahead, Wallace?
No, he's Hubs told me in my ear, and I think it's 7th best MVP odds, sandwiched between Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson. So if we're with the same, I think that's
that's right.
Newsworthy because we're talking like best Celtics since Larry Bird. Can he compete with Joker and Giannis? And it's like, no, actually, his neighborhood is Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson.
Hold on. Let me respond to that, though. No Celtics since Larry Bird has competed for MVPs. None.
No,
you know what I mean? I mean, KG won his as a Timberwolf.
Yeah.
Like Tatum has come the closest of any Celtic since Bird. Like that, to me, you kind of walked into the not more interesting question, but a different question, which is it more likely he ascends into the tier with those 3 guys we said, Luka, Jokic, and Giannis, or that the other guys on his tier, Shea and Anthony Edwards, ascend past him? I think, Celtics fans will be mad at me, I feel like I gave you your flowers, but I can just be honest, maybe neither is the smart bet, but if one of the 2 is going to happen, I don't think he's going to catch those 3 guys as an individual player. I just don't.
I would agree with
and
that,
I think Shea and Anthony Edwards have more, even though Shea's older than you think. Shea's 26. You know what I mean? And Anthony Edwards obviously has a lot more room to grow, have more room to grow than Tatum does. And so that's.
Well, Shea is like next year, like Shea's going to start getting the pressure of, okay,
no
you're
more
going to
nice
start
story.
winning. Right.
Oh,
like Tatum was that guy. When he averaged 19 in the playoffs against LeBron, this young kid, it was like, wow. He was that guy for a while. Now it's like, okay, you got to start with Luka. It's about to hit Luka.
I think it already
start
hit
winning.
Luka.
Yep. It hit him in the finals, but now it's like you're going to have to start winning. The numbers are. We're not at that point anymore.
Dynasty Watch. We haven't had a repeat champion